name work. So what is web domain? A web domain is an actual presence on the internet, such as a web
The
page.
time is
A web
12 o'clock
a web
p.m.
domain is a substitute that replaces the internet protocol. So domain is the website name. So for example, this is the IP address and this is the domain name. This is the example of domain name and this is the example of IP address. IP address. So the IP address of this domain name is this one. And the domain name of this IP address is this one. So making the translation from an IP address to a domain name is accomplished through the domain name system or the DNS. Using our previous example, you can see that it is much easier to remember the domain name than the IP address. So it was already this so what is IP address? So it was already discussed before, but anyways, I want to share you again the definition of IP address. So IP address is a unique string of characters that identifies each computer using the internet protocol to communicate over a network. So what is IP address needed? So computers need IP address to communicate with other online devices and networks. The purpose of IP address is to map the web and send the data to the right place. Without this critical protocol address between devices and networks, the internet wouldn't be able to fulfill your data request. So again, this is the example of domain name. So www.study.com. So the www is the third level domain. Third level domain. So the purpose of it is the third www is the third level domain, informing your browser to look for the domain name on the web. So the purpose of it is to balance the load on sites which heavy traffic. Next is the study. So this is the second portion and it is unique and is considered the second level domain name. So the purpose of it is to make a website identifiable and memorable. So the .com portion represents the top level domain. So or TLD. So it helps classify a features of website such as its purpose, the owner, or the geographical origin. So what is the purpose of a domain name? So the primary purpose of a domain name is to help visitors locate your website with minimal effort. So your web domain is your identity on the internet. So it should be distinctive enough to set you apart from your competition while being descriptive enough to impart important information about your organization or website. So in other words, a website with a quality domain name creates a picture of what is inside your website. Similar to a business having a unique fashionable storefront windows, by looking into the windows or your web domain, prospective customers are able to get a good glimpse of what your website is about. So, one additional note, you can incorporate your domain name as part of multiple email addresses, enable you to maintain separation between departments and services. So for example, the Shein clothing brand, their domain name is www.shein.com. So basically, their domain name is their clothing brand or the second level domain. In this, people can easily know what is inside their website. Same as we're going to make a website, it should be connected on the name of our business so people can easily remember and identify what is inside our website. So how does a domain name work? So the DNS works by translating the assigned IP address into an easier to remember, equally viable name created by you. Both the domain name and its related IP address are unique and a duplication cannot be used. So as an added benefit, your domain name remains unchanged even if you change the server hosting your website. The only thing required on your part is to notify the DNS about your new server. So in other words, if you move from Manila, Philippines to Los Angeles, California, your domain name remains the same. All you need to do is contact the post office advising them of your new address. So this is Google Domains offers you several choices for creating and managing your web presence. So use your domain name as a custom domain for a Google App Engine, Blogger, or Google site. Use one of the third-party web hosting providers you can link to seamlessly from Google Domains to create a new account, or use one you already have set up. Use another third-party web hosting provider. Use the web forwarding feature to redirect traffic to your domain directly to an existing site. So, that's all